Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining me here today. We will do a mat-based practice. This is designed to be a brief and gentle wind down, maybe before bed, or you may like it as a midday break, sort of in the afternoon lows. And personally, I kind of like this style of practice to start my day if I'm feeling particularly slow and sluggish. It's a nice alternative to sitting in a chair with the lights off, waiting to sort of come to wakefulness. Instead, we can gently come to wakefulness through our yoga practice. All right, we will start supine and we'll finish supine. So the entire time we'll be on the floor, which means we could actually do this in bed. So let's settle in here. I like what's sometimes called constructive rest. I find it a happy medium for most of my students. To land with our feet flat, our body's on the floor, maybe the knees are knocking in towards one another. And to bring greater awareness to our breath, hands can come to belly. To stretch my hands out so my thumbs are on my bottom ribs, so I can feel the movement of my rib cage, and then my fingers are working further down. Checking in with breath, checking in with body. And since we'll be doing a stretch-based practice today, noticing if we're feeling kind of tight and cranky, picking out in your mind what body parts could really benefit from some stretching today, and what places of the body could benefit from a gentler touch. Noting in your mind, using this moment as a reminder that we can modify any of the movements in any yoga program ever, not just this class here today. You are always in control. You are the boss on your yoga mat. We'll begin with a side stretch, affectionately known as banana pose. There are a couple different ways we can do this. I'll show us to begin by lengthening the right leg, flat along the mat, and taking it across the midline towards the left side. The left leg can stay bent as it is, or it can go on top of the right leg so the ankles are crossed. We can do the same thing in the upper body. The right arm can come up overhead. The left arm can stay exactly as it is, or we can put the left arm either on top of the right so that our left arm lands on top of our right hand. Or we could be a bit more active and have our left wrist pull the right arm so that we come deeper into our side body stretch. And if all of these steps were very confusing, essentially lying on the mat, we can walk our feet over and our arms over our body into a C shape. We'll pause and hold here. There is nothing to do. Suggest a variation of a sinking breath that's a bit more balanced. It's not too heavy. So sometimes we focus on a long exhale. And if we're coming into stillness after a busy day, that might be a bit too much, feel too, I don't know, kind of dull or not quite a good fit. So instead, let's begin with a 4-6 breath. Inhaling for a count of 4, and then we're exhaling for a count of 6. As we exhale with that 6, bring our awareness to all parts of the body that are pressing down onto the mat. And then allow ourselves to be held more fully by the mat and the earth below. So we're bringing a comfortable sense of heaviness into the body. We'll take this to the other side. So we can start through constructive rest again, pausing and checking in, seeing if we're feeling any different from the right side to the left side after that stretch. Stretch on the other side, straightening the left leg. The right leg can be bent for more stability. Or we can take ankle over ankle. And the same thing in the upper body. Left arm overhead. We can leave the left arm as it is and the right arm as it is. Or maybe we're stacking right arm over left hand. Letting our left hand grasp our right wrist, simply resting. Or right wrist can grab our left wrist and pull us more deeply into the side stretch. Adjusting as needed. And then returning to our 4-6 breath. Becoming aware of all parts of the body that are pressing into the mat and the earth below. And as we do that long breath out on the 6, letting ourselves feel heavier, dropping into all these places where our bodies are pressing down. Come back through center. We may like to draw knees to chest, giving ourselves a big hug. Go into a variation of happy baby here. So the smallest motion is what I like to call an ugly cannonball. Makes a very big splash. We can draw hands behind thighs, drawing the knees open. If we want to go deeper and more active in this pose, we can stamp our feet on the ceiling. We can hold our ankles, the outside of our feet. Traditionally, this one is done with our peace fingers around our big toe and then capping that off with the thumb and drawing down. So that we're really kicking upward. Our fingers are pulling down, but our big toe is resisting that, pressing into our fingers. And there now is all sorts of research about the strength of our big toe related to longevity and a long, healthy life. So I've been throwing this one into my classes more lately so we can practice building big toe strength. Now, if big toe strength is not your goal, we can also be using our arms more like a kickstand on the outside of the legs, letting the legs fall open. Now, regardless of what position we're in, rocking side to side is another option here. Rocking can be very gentle and soothing. And to release this pose, sometimes we get tight through the front of the hips. Personally, I like to plant the feet and lift into bridge. Or you may simply like to straighten one leg and then the other. Yogi's choice here, lifting into bridge. Or a long stretch, maybe one leg or the other, or even both legs together, long body stretch. We'll walk our feet back in. Let's draw the right knee in and extend the left leg out for single leg to chest. Give the leg a big hug. We may feel this as stretch in the glutes. Option to circle the ankle here, letting out any pops or cracks. And then we can make our way into a twist. So we're planting the right foot, drawing the right knee to the opposite side of the body. So right knee towards the left side, and then our left hand can either support underneath or draw us deeper into the twist by landing on top of the thigh. Our right hand is free. Maybe it's coming out sort of like a T position, or again up overhead, like that banana stretch we did. We may again like to inhale for 4, exhale for 6, and see if our exhale can draw us deeper into our twist. Let's make our way back through center, readjusting in the center of the mat, and coming onto our other side, holding behind the left thigh, extending the right leg. Give that leg a big hug, maybe circle the ankles, maybe not. And we'll make our way into our twist, planting the left foot, bringing it across to the right side of the mat. We have a chance to adjust our hips so we're coming onto the side of the pelvis as we make our way there. And our right hand can support under the left knee or can gently draw us deeper into the twist on top of the left knee. Our left arm is free to be down by our hips, straight out to the side, up overhead, or somewhere in between those positions. Bring ourselves back to our 4-6 breath. Seeing, can our exhale bring us deeper? We'll bring ourselves back to the center, taking a moment to readjust whatever kind of pose we'd like to do to polish off. And then option to finish here in a traditional relaxation lying on our backs, or again in a constructive wrist pose with the feet roughly as wide as the mat and the knees knocking inward, and our hands to our bellies to help bring our awareness to our breath. We can start with our 4-6 breath. Full breath in, long breath out. But we may like to add on, inhaling for 6, exhaling for 8, and pausing with the lungs empty for a count of 2. So we've really stretched our breath out now. If we are feeling we've had a good stretch for our torso, then it may be easier to do a full breath. Or we can still do our inhale for 4, exhale for 6, but we're adding a pause for 2 with the lungs empty. So full breath in, long breath out, slowing our breath down from when we began. And with our lungs empty, just pause and hold the breath for 2. This is called a breath suspension, actually. So I like the feeling of suspension, that it feels a little bit lighter than holding. So we might think holding the breath is gripping or grasping, or just suspended, the same as if we throw a ball in the air, it's suspended for a moment, light before the effects of gravity take place again. So that's how I like to think of as breath suspension. Full breath in, long breath out, and then simply suspending the breath for a beat. So the mixture of this full breath in, long breath out, and then especially with that holding the breath with our lungs empty, can help us to feel quite sleepy, relaxed, peaceful, and can bring us into sleep. So if you are planning this as a midday break, you might want to finish with the 4-6 breath. If we are ready to drift off into sleep, let's do this 6-8-2 breath. Stay here as long as you like. Official time is done. Thank you so much for joining me here today. From my light to yours, namaste.